Hey there, this is a quick devlog for the second week of sprint development for my VR game Frozen Cold. Before I go over what I've done this week, I need to review where I'm at in development though. Here are part of two learning contracts that I've put up. They outline the tasks that I need to do and the dates I need to do them by. I've highlighted the ones that should be completed by now in green, but I've already completed all these and then some, most of which you've seen in previous devlogs and posts. Now for the fun stuff, what have I done this past week? Well, let's get the annoying news out of the way first. I've had a lot of issues with making a grip system for two-handed objects, so many bugs and issues with relation to physics hands that I've had to refactor half my code. Cue the music. Anyway, I've replaced it with a very simple function that should just move the object to the hand and then offset it by the inverse of the distance to the nearest grip. Haven't been able to test this yet, but I will tomorrow, and it should work, seeing as I'm not messing with any joints, which was the reason I got this bug in the first place. I also worked a lot on enemies this week. As you can see, I'm setting up a ragdoll and animated enemy. What it does is basically when time freezes, it just switches to the ragdoll. So I got that set up first with both characters on top of each other. And then after that I had to obviously get the ragdoll to match the animated character, so you'll see in this one here when the time freezes for just a second that when time freezes, ragdoll will move to the animated character's position, and then you can obviously play with the ragdoll because it's physics enabled. And then if it gets hit, it will stay a ragdoll. That will simulate the player being dead, or sorry, the character being dead. And then all I had to do is then get this all working in VR. As you can see here, you can now beat up people in VR. I also changed the design of the game a bit. I've decided now that when time freezes, the players should be separate from their body, and there'll be like a little image of their body left behind that they have to protect. I think this will not only add more level design, because you can't just avoid everything, you actually have to protect the static thing that everything's trying to kill. But it also makes it easier because it means I don't have to make a fully IK rigged character, because I was having quite a lot of issues with that. So I can just do this essentially the same thing with the ragdoll, just match it to the player's position, and then the level starts and you have to protect that, and I think that's better personally. Really the only other major thing this week was just perfecting being able to push objects. Before it didn't work very well with grabbing and pushing, but now you can, with any object including bullets, you can now push them out of the way, and they'll remember like where they've been pushed, what velocity has been given to them, so you can throw them like this. Now for my Trello, as you can see I've moved and completed a lot of tasks up this week, and for these next weeks I'll be focusing mainly on sharp objects like knives and the destruction of enemy ragdolls. It'll be a lot of effort because I think I'm going to have to create my own ragdoll model with individual breaking parts on it, because any one that I can find is like a really high price on the asset store, and I'm not going to pay that, I'll just do it myself. I'm not a great modeler, but I think if I can get that done and the sharp objects, I can move on to things like level managers and UI and just make it a more complete game. But at the moment I'm very ahead of schedule, which I'm glad to be, because I want to really polish this game and make it my best work so far.